Now, what if I told you that just by wearing these glasses, when I look at you, I can tell your name, how old you are, your families, I could tell your marriage status, your relationship status, and I could tell you if you've ever been in trouble with the police. Does that sound unbelievable to you? Keep watching. Now imagine putting on a pair of glasses, walking down the street, and having the ability to identify anybody who's ever been tagged in any social media post or has had anything said about them on the internet at all. Does this sound like the future to you? I'm telling you that it's here, and it's not just the present, it's the past. This may sound harmless, but I'm going to tell you why some of us should be a little more than concerned. So over the course of my career, I've come in contact and met a lot of people who are considered experts in their field. Experts in technology, both in hardware and software. And I've seen some interesting things. I've attended meetings with heads of worldwide organizations, and I couldn't even get past the front door without handing over all my electronics. No recording devices at all. And security would check me beforehand. And I also couldn't get through the front door without signing a non-disclosure agreement about what I was going to see and what we were going to speak about inside. And I'm still bound by that to this day. Now, back to the glasses. They're sold everywhere. Connected wearables. They can be clear or they can be tinted like sunglasses or shades. They're easily connected to the internet. You can make calls, receive calls, check out your status on different social media platforms. They have cameras, and believe it or not, some of them even protect your eyes from the sun. Now imagine those glasses having the ability to detect faces and have facial recognition software, much like our cell phones do now. As you're walking by people on the street, the camera is able to pick out faces and provide you with real-time information as fast as the internet works, give you information on who that person is, anything that's ever been publicly posted about them or anything about them online. Their names, their social media handles, who they're connected to, friends in common, whatever the case, you know the drill. I think back to some of the science fiction movies I've seen in the past, like The Terminator and other ones where, he's basically walking into a room and he's scanning the room and it shows you through, what he would be seeing, and all you see is the red squares over everybody's faces, and they're printing out all their information, their height, their weight, you name it. I want to say before I go further that some countries have really put a lot of restrictions on social media empires using facial recognition technology. And that's good that there's legislation. And we know that everybody follows the law. And listen, that sounds like I'm being pessimistic, okay? I understand that. I truly believe that when people are creating these things, it's to better themselves, better humanity, and they're doing it with good intentions. It's just that, unfortunately, sometimes the technology falls into the hands of the wrong people, of bad people who we know exist. Now, before I tell you what's really concerning about this, I also want to let you know that what I'm talking about now in this video, this is not brand new. This example that I'm going to give you, this is 5 years old. Now imagine that same scenario I just gave you. You're walking down the street, a busy street, no matter where it is, and there's people passing you as fast as those people can pass you. It's reading out their information and feeding it back to you in real time. Now imagine that those connected wearables are also connected to a federal police or law enforcement database. Any police officer, FBI agent, law enforcement personnel could wear these glasses, walk down a busy street, and see as they're passing people, they're being scanned, and that officer can tell if that person has ever been in trouble with the police in any form at all. If they're currently on any conditions, are they abiding by those conditions? Are there any warrants out for them? Basically, any information that would be in a police database. The same information a police officer or law enforcement personnel could get from their vehicle. But as you're walking down the street, it scans you. Maybe you've been in trouble with the police, you're currently on conditions. Not to be within 100 feet of a certain individual. The person you're with could be that individual that you're not supposed to be with. Either for, now I'm going to take it to the extreme, it could be because you've committed high-profile crimes with these people, you're not supposed to be hanging out with them, or it could be a domestic situation. So remember I said that this technology is 5 years old? Do you think maybe it's being tested in the field? And I don't mean smaller police services in a smaller town. I'm talking about whether it's military or some federal organization. Do you think it's possible that this has been tested without people knowing, without us knowing? And is that fair? Now, I have mixed feelings about it. First of all, in terms of privacy laws, if it's social media, they have to abide by the country that they're operating in. In terms of law enforcement personnel, I want and I expect all law enforcement personnel to have the best tools available to them in order to do their job. I mentioned before that one of my concerns is that this technology gets into the wrong hands and it's used by individuals or organizations who do not have the best interest of others in mind. In many ways, law enforcement is just playing catch up because a lot of criminal organizations, the criminal element, they've had this technology for years and they've tested it. They don't follow the same rules as everybody else. Somebody always states in the comments that it doesn't matter to them because they don't have anything to hide. But just because you, as an individual, don't have anything to hide doesn't mean the rights of everybody else should be trampled on or put to the side. So I'd love to know your thoughts on this. I think I explained or gave a couple examples about why it might be a good thing moving forward. And listen, in the near future, this is probably going to be the way it is everywhere. But I would love to know your thoughts. If you've made it this far in the video, thank you so much. If there's something else you want me to cover, I have lots of content planned. But if there's something specifically you would like me to cover, please let me know in the comments. I do my best. I actually read every comment. I respond when it's appropriate to do so. So until the next video, I try to put out 2 a week. Be safe out there. Stay warm. Look after one another. And perhaps we will see you again.